So for those of you who already work with Sam, she's amazing. I was just talking with Samantha during the break, and we have people, she has a following really not necessarily from Sam Point. They're from all over the world. Again, her gift set or her skill set and her gifts that she offers horses are very unique, and so it's lovely that she chose beautiful Sandpoint, Idaho to call part-time home.
Part-time home.
As she said, she follows the sun.
I follow the sun all over the world.
Yeah. We were also talking about one of the things that, again, I have been working with her for about a month now, and I'm seeing dramatic changes with this horse and just this relaxing of this beautiful horse. His name is Chance, and she's saying nothing happens on accident. You know, she's taught me to watch eyes, watch ears, watch
breathing.
Yeah, breathing. Right. That's why I teach
Remember to breathe.
Yeah, and the stance and the snorting and all of that stuff has a way of processing. And I think it's one of the things that you've also discussed is it's a conversation that you're having constantly with the horse. And I'd love you to go ahead and expand on the language you use is so unique and helpful.
Mm-hmm. So many times there's this idea of training a horse and, having often a set program when you go to a professional horse person, whether it's a young horse that has never been touched, whether it's an older horse that's going in for refinement or finishing in his training. And each trainer tends to kind of have a certain way of doing things and presenting things, and all horses kind of go through the program. And, for me, when I really had to reevaluate how I was going to approach and searching for a way to get horses willing and available to work with me, I had to realize that every horse was an individual. It didn't matter the cliches of the breeding. It didn't matter the background of the education or training or competition experience or not that horse had. I really had to slow down and treat that horse as an individual in that moment, on that day, and give him a clean slate so that I could really assess where there were potential holes in his education. And there's a background where for many years we broke horses, which was a certain amount of physical force that was imposed upon horses. And there were some horses that could mentally handle that way of handling, and first education and exposure to saddling and riding and being used as work animals and so on. But over time, our goals and our interaction with the horse has really become a lot more about people wanting to enjoy the relationship with their horse. They want to enjoy the journey. And yes, they may compete, but first and foremost, they're looking to create this partnership, this respectful interaction that allows them an emotional outlet, but yet still accomplishes things with their horse. And so
I was
really...
going to say what's so interesting about that is who knew groundwork could be so fun?
Yes.
So we've been doing this a month now, and I mean, saddling isn't even really an option yet.
Yes.
We are just, and that I think is, you're really not forcing anything. You're really allowing that horse to.
Yeah. And every horse is in a different place. So like with your particular horse, he had a background, he had exposure to things, and obviously however things were presented, it really troubled him. And he got labeled, as you said, the psycho horse to start, right? And then we have to stop and go, okay, so what horse is born this way? Now, maybe rarely once in a while there might be a horse who's pretty troubled from the start. But I find 99% of all horse problems are human taught. And something has been missed, something has been rushed, something has been forced in a way that the horse maybe initially politely showed resistance or fear or defensiveness or concern. That was ignored. The horse was bullied into doing things, even if it was with good intention and not malice and not trying to be abusive. And at some point, the horse mentally broke and physically reacted in a dangerous and dramatic way. And it's only then that often people want to believe that they're having a problem, that something is really wrong. And by then, it's far down the path of that horse now believing that every time they interact with a human, there's going to be a stressful experience. And so the horse starts with things like not wanting to be caught, resistant in being led, unwilling to be tied, moving around when saddled. And all of these things, so many times people think like that is the issue. My horse doesn't want to be caught, because we're going back to that task accomplishment. I'm going out to the pasture, I expect to catch my horse. As opposed to saying, when I show up to the pasture, is my horse even curious to see why I'm here, to come over and offer to participate? And this is where I talk about the conversation. Does it feel like a screaming match with your horse, or you're pleading, or you're praying, or you're hoping, or does does it feel like your horse is willing to show up, or sneak that halter in as you walk in the pasture, sneak that saddle on because he's tied. You can make him stand there. It's all an illusion. At some point, that resistance will maybe morph into a different unwanted behavior. So rather than just trying to band-aid all this sort of stuff, I slow people down, slow horses down, and try and give them the tools to communicate so we can have these conversations so that the horse can politely say they're having a problem. You can believe him, you can help him work through something, and then it evolves into whatever else you're asking of him.